Hello everybody, I'm Dammit to Hell, and welcome to the first episode of Control-Alt-Dammit. In this series, I'll be discussing gaming news, games I've played, and other random gaming stuff and things. So thank you very much for taking the time to check out the video, and let's get right into it. In case you missed it, the second DLC for Remnant 2, The Forgotten Kingdom, releases soon. Alongside this DLC, which takes place in Yaesha, will be a new archetype called the Invoker. This archetype is based around using skills. The prime perk, Visionary, grants the Invoker double skills and reduces skill cooldowns, including those of your second archetype. Their archetype trait, Gifted, increases the duration of all applicable skills. The Invoker's three skills are Way of Keula. The Invoker summons a rainstorm, which is followed by a tidal wave. Enemies caught in the path are slowed and intermittently struck by lightning. Way of Mirdra. The Invoker unleashes Gloom on enemies, which increases the amount of elemental damage taken, grants some heal over time for allies, and grants lifesteal against Gloom-affected enemies. Way of Ladusa. Invoker gains the power of Sand from an AoE attack called Sand Blast. This makes enemies brittle, increasing crit chance and crit damage. The Forgotten Kingdom releases on April 23rd. Tell me down below what two archetypes you plan on using for the DLC. A short little bit of Spider-Man 2 news. The newest Spider-Man 2 update is now available to download. It includes several bug fixes and improvements. Patch 1.002.003 addresses things like missing player save data, accessibility presets resetting on death, and some visual oddities such as environmental texture bugs that take place while in the open world. Also mentioned are general stability improvements which address common crashes and performance issues. Have you started New Game Plus yet? Let me know down below. In Borderlands 3 news, if you've played Borderlands 3 since 2020, you've probably seen the Borderlands science machine in Tannis' lab. While rearranging and color matching tiles that represent actual DNA data extracted from feces,
This is doo-doo, baby. I said, ah!
The machine allows you to earn currency which could be used to purchase player buffs, while also helping biologists better understand the microbial ecosystem of the human body. A study from Nature shows that while playing a video game, 4.5 million people completed 135 million puzzles, which provided data allowing scientists to track over 1 million forms of gut bacteria. To recognize the accomplishment, Borderlands 3 players and some Gearbox employees have been listed alongside the authors of the published paper. Not too crappy, huh? In Destiny 2 news, Bungie has announced the launch date for the raid in the final shape, and it's only 3 days after the launch of the expansion on June 4th. As usual with anything Destiny related, the community is split on their feelings about this. Since the introduction of contest mode for the world's first races, the insane grind for power leading up to raid day isn't really as necessary as it once was, but players are still concerned about things like being able to level up and make use of artifact perks, as well as wanting time to find synergies with new loot and subclass options coming in the final shape. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. In Baldur's Gate 3 news, Patch 7 is coming soon, and the studio has revealed official modding tools will be included in this update. Larian CEO Sven Vink stated that the tools will allow you to change up visuals, animations, sounds, stats, and much more to overhaul Baldur's Gate 3 into the weird nightmare realm of your dreams. Now, while there are already Baldur's Gate 3 mods for things like armor appearance, classes, dice, and weapons on Nexus, official mod support aims to make things a bit easier for newer modders and hopefully brings modding to consoles as well. What's the first thing you're gonna mod? No Rest for the Wicked has launched into early access on Steam, and the general consensus is mixed. Complaints range from being unable to change keybinds, missing menu settings for tweaking individual graphic options, to performance issues. I played No Rest for the Wicked for about 5 hours on stream, and while it was mostly enjoyable, there were certainly parts of the game that had me asking, why did you do this? Currently, the game only shows Xbox controller prompts, which isn't a big deal for most, but if you use a PlayStation controller or another controller, it can be a bit disorienting. The game is touted as Path of Exile meets Dark Souls. For me, the top-down view made it difficult to pick up on cues for parrying efficiently. Every time you die, which if you're like me and don't really play these types of games will be frequently, you're going to spend a good amount of coin repairing all of your equipment. Aside from that, the game stutters in town and struggles to hold 60 FPS on a PC with a 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 4080. Currently, DLSS is not included, but it's listed in the menu as coming soon. Now, complaints aside, the game is beautiful, and I really look forward to seeing some quality of life and performance updates. Have you played it yet? What did you think? Tell me down below. Dead Island 2's second DLC, SoLA, launched on Wednesday the 17th. The DLC introduces a new and quite large area, as well as adding new player cards, curveballs, blueprints, and weapons. Overall, this DLC is much better than the House DLC was, and it's a good bit longer. It took me about 5.5 hours to complete, and it included some exploration and puzzle solving. There's still a few things that I haven't completed, so I would be confident saying 6 to 6.5 hours of playtime, give or take an hour depending on your play style. That being said, this DLC is in some serious need of optimization. The base game and the House DLC run flawlessly for me, mostly holding over 140 FPS on the highest settings. SoLA, however, struggled to hold 60 in some places, even dropping as low as 45 FPS. I had to lower several settings in an effort to achieve a smooth frame rate. If you're planning on playing the SoLA DLC, I would recommend giving them a while to put out a patch or two to fix these issues. Aside from the wonky frames, I enjoyed the DLC. Between Dead Island and Dying Light, which is your favorite zombie game? Let me know down below. On April 18th, Game Awards host Jeff Keighley showed off some screenshots for The Wolf Among Us 2 on Twitter, mentioning that the game was in production. Revealed back in 2019 at the Game Awards, The Wolf Among Us 2 continues the story of the first game and is meant to serve as a prequel to the comics. Development originally started in Unreal Engine 4, but has since shifted to Unreal Engine 5 as of last year, and was delayed by 1 year as a result of the switch and the desire to avoid development crunch. As with most Telltale games, The Wolf Among Us 2 will release in episodes, but aside from that, not much else is known about the release date other than it is still slated for this year. Hopefully, these screenshots can hold you over until we get more info. In Dragon's Dogma 2 news, if, like me, you've been waiting for a performance patch before playing due to a lot of the reviews, it looks like we'll have to keep waiting. On the 19th, the official DD2 Twitter account posted a screenshot of what's included in the upcoming patch, and bad news, it looks like none of it is performance related. Browsing through the replies, it seems like a lot of folks aren't very happy about the lack of a performance patch. Have you played Dragon's Dogma 2 yet? How was the performance for you? Alright, that's it for the first episode of Control-Alt-Dammit. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you think I could do differently. The format's likely going to change here and there along the way until I land on something that you and I both like. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video and you want to see more, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and you can also hang out with me on Twitch Sunday through Friday, where I play a variety of games and hang out with some of the best people on the internet. Find me at 3 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/dammittohell. Thank you again. Until we meet again, be safe, be sexy, touch a butt.